Welcome back to Combust Astrology. My name's Liv, and we're going to be looking at the total lunar eclipse that's happening in Pisces on the 7th of September. As you might know or been told, it's also a blood moon. It's going to start at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will, be seen until like Tuesday or so, and it'll be really cool. So, what is the purpose of all this? Astrologically, and the blood moon. We know right now we have been in an eclipse cycle, and we've just recently had the new moon, and the blood moon is typically an amplification of this. I actually watched Wednesday recently. It's like wolfing out on a full moon. The astrological significance of this, though, is still in line with the theme of letting go. That's truly what this is about. I don't really want to say that it's like the end of the world. Some people might, but it's really not. You've already been dealing with these themes, right? Last video, I talked about how we've been dealing with Saturn, and you've been dealing with really just the whole theme of realizing that some things have to just end. In this leg, this is like the third one. In this continuation of everything, like, I'm going to draw it out so we can kind of show it, because it's like what I know in my brain, putting it out to be seen. Saturn in Pisces is greater than the nodal returns, is greater than the eclipses. That's like the main gist. And so having the sun and the south node conjunct with Mercury, with the moon and north node, and then Saturn going to be in Pisces, because remember, it switched back on the 1st. This is a lot. That's what would make this one be important compared to the other two. But it's still nothing that's like, oh my gosh, run for the hills, I don't think. This is the only thing that you should focus on. The current you and the past ways of looking at doing this current you has to realize that the way that you grow here is through emotionally releasing and chasing that future. The Saturn just asks for commitment on the longer term. And there are a lot of things that could require. In order to move on, that new moon was trying to create a new version of you. The release and the seed of it is now. So it just comes back to needing to let go. Like that's really it. If we look at the peripherals of this transit, we do have a trine still, a Pluto and Uranus. I think we've all been feeling that. And then they both sextile the Saturn and Neptune. It's out of sign, but it's like right there. Okay. That's still, depending on where your chart has these two placements, it's just going to be about breaking out. It's not changed too much. Venus is at 15 degrees of Leo, and Jupiter is at 19 degrees of Pisces. Now, this 19-degree Jupiter is going to trine the moon and north node. Letting go, finding peace, healing, moving on. It also squares a Mars in Pisces, and this square between that theme of the letting go that's happening between these is so much about like just a nice little rebrand, a nice little restart, taking in things and then realizing that it can be let go. And then the Venus now comes in my point of view, and it says, okay, do it right. A lot of things aren't going to be in your control as you'd love it to be perfectly, and that's okay. But do it right and do it to the best of what you feel is great for yourself. So I feel like I'm just on top of a soapbox saying the same thing over and over again. This all comes back to letting go. That's really it. I could sit here and talk for like 10 more minutes, but that's the gist. I hope you enjoyed the video, and wherever the Pisces axis has been having for you, the theme that you've learned about yourself since 2023 with Saturn in Pisces, it's the same theme that's knocking on your door again, but just a revision in a different way. Thank you and take care.